and then go for his base. Bisu doing a very good job micromanaging his Corsairs, hasn't managed to lose a hit. It looks like that Corsair, I spoke too soon, that Corsair got a hit right there. Let's see if this Corsair goes down. Scourge still in pursuit, so he's got to have flawless micromanagement here, and loses that Corsair. And another attack on the main, so some Mutalisks managing to take down one cannon. Let's see if they are able to take down both cannons before these Corsairs get involved. Corsairs going, lost a single Scourge there. Those Corsairs are really what's going to be stopping that attack. Going backside, he's going to see that secondary, and really that's kind of a miscue for Bisu. Bisu doesn't have a lot of cannons down at that location. Bisu's a little spread out here between these two bases, but doing everything he needs to do. He's getting those cannons down, he's keeping the Corsairs up, and not allowing kind of Kwanro to do serious, real damage to any of his holdings thus far. More Zerglings coming down, so Zerglings and Mutalisks in the air right now, and really that Archon is basically the only thing going to be protecting that expansion at the moment. Those Zerglings actually going to the southern location basically to protect there, and it looks like Kwanro building up a lot of forces to the north. He's going to keep picking at these Corsairs, taking them out with Scourges, and basically just going to try to avoid that Archon altogether, doing a lot of harassment there. It looks like some gateways going down, so I'm going to assume that that's an air defense upgrade for Bisu. It might be Quantum Singularity, though I doubt it, and a lot of Templar at that front base, so Kwanro really shouldn't try a Zergling attack up front, maybe an Ultralisk attack if he can get to that higher level attack, and those Corsairs being pushed back, going to have to come back over those cannons, and that's going to get, losing one Corsair, but that was a lot of Scourges for just that single Corsair, and Kwanro going to use the Corsairs that are out of position now to try to pick at that Archon. Not being very successful. Single cannon going up there, so Kwanro not very successful with that attack, bringing some more Zerglings up. And let's see if Kwanro has anything for this Dark Templar that's coming at his front. If he has basically something at his front position, looks like that Sun Colony should be able to defend this expansion, and that Dark Templar is going to very quickly be taken down. Very good job on Kwanro spotting that, even though he's doing kind of a harass at the main and just kind of poking the hot spots. And really what Kwanro needs to do, it doesn't look like he's producing a ton. He needs to get that gas down. He needs to go to Ultralisks right now, in my opinion, if he's going to keep this advantage over Bisu. You just can't let Bisu sit in his base. Wow, Psystorm going down over the Archon, but a lot over the Mutalisk there, and Kwanro's like, oh, that was a bit of a cost. But he has another large Air Force to supplement this. Now, this is what I've talked about, kind of a flaw on Kwanro's play late game. He needs to go, he needs to macro up, and he needs to go late game tech. Oftentimes he'll have a plan, and once he has that plan, he just sticks with that plan. It does not change his plan. He's doing a lot of harassment here at that secondary, bringing those Corsairs up, and he's being very successful with this at the moment, but keep in mind, those gateways are down. He's not getting scouting at that lower base just because he's spending so much time harassing here. That cannon never got up. So even though Kwanro's in a very dominant position right now, you can't let Bisu hang around. You cannot let Bisu hang around. Otherwise, he will bite you in the ass in later games. Just absolutely bite you in the ass. And that Archon's still alive. Kwanro's still managing to basically take down these cannons. Keep them from even coming in. A Templar coming up, going to try to get another Psystorm off. But Kwanro, excellent Mutalisk kind of movement, is going to be able to take that Templar out. And Bisu still not able to basically secure the secondary. But really, I think what he is doing a very good job, though, he's doing a very good job of keeping Kwanro focused on his secondary while he's producing units otherwise. I wish they would get a look at his main base to see what he's doing otherwise to supplement this, because I can't believe that Bisu is only committing with these Archons and Templar and Corsairs. And he's got a Dark Templar, looks like, going out towards Kwanro's main, trying to get more cannons up. Hydralisks up now for Kwanro. I'll be curious if he decides to keep those Hydralisks up, if he's just going to do a major push at Bisu's front door at this point, or what from that position. But really, if I was Kwanro, I would take basically take that expansion of that 12 o'clock position and just gather a couple, and see, like I was saying, a bunch of Dragoons. That was Quantum Singularity. He has a large force at his front now, a large Corsair force in the meantime, and now Bisu has a lot of forces on the ground, and I don't know if Kwanro has, we'll check his macro, but I'm not sure if he has a lot of forces to supplement this. And now a large Corsair Air Force out for Bisu, or I should say a decent-sized Air Force for Bisu. So Bisu is going to be able to do a lot of harassment here. And now he's going to push right back up into Kwanro, and he might take this out. It looks like, only a handful of Mutalisks out. Looks like Kwanro is starting to produce some forces now. He needed to produce some forces earlier. It looks like he's got Hydralisks, and that's very dangerous. As I said, what Bisu's very good at doing is forcing players to go Hydralisk, and as soon as they go Hydralisk, that's really what he's good at. And now he's getting those hatcheries down. Now he's getting some colonies up, or that evolution chamber up, but it might just be too little too late. If Bisu just pushes up into Kwanro right now, I think he can take this. Kwanro very desperately getting those 3 extra hatcheries to supplement his forces, and again, he's still losing a couple overlords here and there, and still only has those mulists basically protecting his base. Managed to take out another Corsair that was a little bit separated from the pack, but he needs to be careful. It looks like that probe's going to come out. I think that's just for scouting. It's going to discover that bottom right-hand corner base, and I don't think there's anything Kwanro can do really to stop that unless he's been able to produce. It looks like he does have a sizable force there, but it's not of units that I think can take that down. I think he needed to tech up. I think he needed to focus on macro, and really Bisu, and that's the only mistake, we saw the same mistake that Go Rush made versus, I can't even remember, was it Mania? I think it was Mania, basically. And but Kwanro doing a very good job, actually, of trying to keep Bisu at that northern. In the meantime, looks like he's going to get some sunken colonies down. Let's see if those sunken colonies are up, basically to take care of this. And a large, looks like a sizable force now for Kwanro coming out from the north. And I'm not sure if there's a Dark Templar in amongst them, but if a Dark Templar is amongst them, that could be very difficult, because with those Corsairs, he's going to be able to take out all the overlords. Bringing bringing a decent force from behind, but really with that ramp, it's going to be hard to protect this, because you can't see keeping those units on the ramp. Actually, no, he's going to go fully in now, but basically, you can just kind of stay at that choke, losing this expansion here, and really ignore the expansion. Let the expansion die. Tech up, Kwanro. Tech up, and then just try to take out Bisu otherwise, because otherwise, my guess is that Bisu already probably has another supplementary force, or maybe go for Bisu's main, put Bisu on the defensive now. That looks like that is what he's doing now. Bisu has a bunch of Templar. I'm not sure how much energy they have. We'll see here in a second how much Psystorm they have, because this is going to be a large force. Getting an Archon, and as you can see, coming out, there's 1 Psystorm down, 2 Psystorm, a bad Psystorm there, 3, 4, yeah, just absolutely devastated that force. And like I said, he forces those players to build Hydralisks, and then just uses the supplementary side forces to absolutely wipe them out. And now, having to fall back with those Hydralisks to see if he sniffs out that expansion. Kwanro completely losing that bottom right-hand expansion, and this game has solidly shifted back to Bisu, unless Kwanro has, in the meantime, somehow teched up and gotten Ultralisks. Looks like he does have 3 evolution chambers down. He's now dedicated to Hydralisks, but I really feel like that's something that's advantageous for Bisu, especially with the unit set he has. He has Archons, and wow, Overlords going down all over the place for Kwanro, and Kwanro, it'll be difficult for him to supplement those forces. And let's see if Kwanro, maybe he did something shifty here. Maybe he has drop. We'll see. He's moving those Overlords with those. Yeah, he does. He in fact has drop. This could actually be the moment that shifts the game back to his advantage. He's going to do a decent sized drop, but really he has to protect those Overlords. If he ends up losing, yeah, he already lost one of the Overlords, but he has to be very careful with those Overlords. I'm not sure how successful this is going to be just with those, simply with those 3, and he's got to pull those forces out. Doesn't look like that was a very successful drop. That was a very sneaky maneuver, and I like that maneuver, but losing those Overlords in the meantime, that's what he can't afford to do. We saw Savior lose a match earlier, actually. The one match he dropped the light is he went in for this kind of massive drop, but then he did not protect the Overlords afterwards and ended up losing all his side. As you can see, Bisu just has all sorts of gateways, so he can definitely compete, one, both economically, but also in production now with Kwanro. Kwanro hasn't expanded. I really wish Kwanro had taken the rest of the map, making a little bit of a mistake there, and able to take out a Corsair there, but again, dedicated to Hydralisks, and we'll see how much longer this lasts, but I think it's just going to take one large push from Bisu, and Kwanro's going to be right out of this. He's being basically outproduced. He doesn't have quite the economical advantage. As you can see, those 7 gateways up, there's 8 gateways up for Bisu at this moment. He had that forge out early, and Kwanro's going to call GG. Again, Kwanro didn't have any, I don't think he was producing any more resources, or enough resources basically to compete. Bisu looks a little disturbed there. I guess he's feeling a little unconfident. Anyway, match 3 coming up here in a second. I hope Kwanro can basically pull an upset victory from here on out.